Just stepped in my prime before for my peak. Still in the law before the reach. I only trust Preacher, I know he won't speak.
Moss, why don't we let y'all introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so my name is DUANE CODY, or CODY if you know me. The business that I started is a juicing business, cold press juicing business called Intune Nutrition and Wellness. Pretty much it's just, right now we specialize in juices only, but as we expand, we're gonna venture off to things like fruit bowls, acai bowls, smoothie bowls, things like that. But right now, our main focus that we specialize in is juicing.
And introduce yourself as well, please.
Yeah. So, hi, I'm MOIET. My company is Sea Moss and Sprouts. Fortunately, I am sold out as of yesterday. So, what I have today is just my business cards. But I sell sea moss, well-crafted sea moss gel, both from St. Lucia and Jamaica. I sell two different kinds. I sell here in Rochester, New York, and in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, so I was just doing some research on sea moss.
Yeah.
And there's 4 different kinds, but not all sea moss is Irish sea moss. I've been seeing a lot of people. So could you go through some of the different sea mosses? Because I know Irish sea moss is in a cold climate.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a purple one that's growing in like the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You know the two right here.
Yeah. So actually, each of the Caribbean islands all have their own sea moss that's native to around their area.
Okay.
So there's actually a different variety.
Well, what is sea moss before?
Yeah. So it's an algae found
Okay.
in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's harvested during a certain time of the year, every year, ethically.
Mm-hmm.
Culturally, that's how you're supposed to do it. So when sea moss was first started to be traded amongst different countries, it started in St. Lucia.
Okay.
So St. Lucia was the beginning of the trade of sea moss, and then it gravitated to the other islands as well.
Okay.
You're gonna see them in different colors and color variation. That just all depends on what region it's coming from. Oftentimes the sea moss that comes from Jamaica is more yellowish clear, and which you can also find near St. Lucia. But there's also many other colors you can find, like green, purplish color, some other variations, and that you would typically call like full spectrum.
Okay.
Sea moss. So you're getting all the different varieties cultivated together.
So what are some of the differences, like the health benefits of sea moss? Like why would somebody take sea moss?
Yeah, so sea moss actually holds 92 of the 102 daily essential minerals you need a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that essentially is getting you to basically your nutritional value that you need each day. So you can take it in many different forms. When it's harvested from the ocean, it's dried naturally in the sun. And then once it's dried, it's actually shelf-stable for 5 to 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
What you would take is your sea moss and you would actually rehydrate it. So you would wash it from, all the sea salt, all the ocean debris off of it. You would clean it with, I usually use spring water, and key lime if you can't have it. If you don't have key lime, that's okay. And then you clean it, soak it overnight. I soak it for a certain amount of time and clean it for a certain amount of time to make
sauce.
sure to make sure my customers don't get the sea flavor taste, because that's a complaint from a lot of people is the scent.
So I'm glad you said that, right? Because I feel like a lot of us, we don't eat for nutrition.
Yeah.
We eat for taste.
Yeah.
And that's why like we got him on as well, because there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that we should normally be consuming, or minerals, vitamins. There's a lot of things that we should be, but we don't eat for nutrition.
Yeah.
We in this microwave generation where everybody just quick, fast, in a hurry. Nobody's sitting down, preparing meals, and juicing and sea moss is one of the things that can help you, because if you want to go, you're moving fast.
Yeah.
You got pineapples, orange, lemons, ginger, and turmeric in one shot, and then you can go double it up with the sea moss if you're really trying to put some flavor on it. So
it's a way to get all your necessary nutrients in like a small dose. You know what I'm saying? Like with that sea moss, you could start with a tablespoon of that and just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you pretty much good for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like got your daily intake. But I think a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, like that's why people stray away from eating healthy, because the process, you know, you gotta go home and you gotta cook and just, you know what I'm saying, just some of the things that's passed down from our generations, you know what I'm saying. I just had this conversation the other day and I was talking to somebody and I was like, yo, you know, it's normal when we come together as a family for like Thanksgivings and things like that, that we got 4 different chickens, we got mac and cheese, rice, all these other things. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's rare that you see a platter of fruit, you know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that we're supposed to be taking in.
Pineapple upside down.
You
That's
know
the
what I'm
closest.
saying?
That's the closest you get into that.
You know?
So what got you into juicing?
For me, I had a diabetes scare. So right before my 30th birthday.
If you don't mind me, okay, I was just about to get it. If you don't mind me asking how old you were.
Yep. I'm about to be 34 this year, but right before my 30th birthday, man, I just started feeling irregular. And one thing about me is that, like, you know, I get sick and I beat the cold. I beat colds down. COVID couldn't touch me. You know what I'm saying? But this one thing was something that I was like, yo, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right. So a week before my 30th birthday, I went to the doctors. I was like, yo, my vision blurry. I'm pissing every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? They was like, yo, you got diabetes. You know what I'm saying? So they started me on the metformin, which is like the medication they typically give most diabetics. You know what I'm saying? They started me on that medication. And then like literally that week, it got worse. You know what I'm saying?
So the medication made things worse.
You know what? I'm not gonna say it made things worse, but I think at the time that I received it, it was too late. You know what I'm saying? Like my body was already shot. So, you know, but that was the reason why I didn't seek out a doctor, because within that first week of me taking the medicine, I'm like, hey, my body's adjusting to this medication, so it's okay. But I got super fatigued. I could barely move. Like bro, one day I woke up, I put on a sock, and I thought I laid back for 2 seconds. I went to sleep for 7 hours. You know what I'm saying? 7 hours, yo. So it got to the point where I was just like, yo, all right, let me go to the doctors. When I got there, they was like, yo, your body is whacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not letting you go no time soon until we regulate you. So just being in a hospital bed, I had a lot of time to think. That was my first time ever being hospitalized for a long period of time. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'm a spiritual person. So for me, it was like, yo, God was talking to me, like, right before you turn 30, you know what I'm saying? Into this next chapter of your life, I'm about to wake you up real quick. So coming out of there, I just was like, yo, I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? And I started with like my mental health first, because I was just like, yo, I gotta remove. I asked myself literally on that bed, like, yo, if you die right now, would you be happy with the way that you lived your life? And the answer was no. You know what I'm saying? So got rid of a toxic relationship, got home, and I just locked in. And juicing was something that I was like, yo, because I know me, I'm not a big gym person. I don't like being in the gym every day, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I gotta find me some shortcuts, you know? So I went pescatarian. Going on 2 years pescatarian now.
Congratulations.
And thank you.
Could you explain to the people what pescatarian is?
Yeah.
I know it, but you know.
Yeah, so I only eat seafood. Right. So I'm a bit heavy on the shrimp and a lot of salmon. You know what I'm saying?
No, I gotta cut you off a little bit, because most seafoods are bottom feeders.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I'm not.
Absolutely. No. And I don't take no shade at all, bro. Because my next step is vegan. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I wanted to start. I wanted to start with something. I really wanted to show myself that I could do it. Right. So it was really just building that discipline, because I never felt like that was something. I'm like, yo, I gotta give up chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like that was something I never thought that I would give up. So I was like, you know, like if I get over this hurdle right here, like I knew that the other things that I could conquer beyond that was limitless. So that was just me really just tapping into my discipline. But also, like, for me, it was like a shortcut, because I was like, you know what, like, I'm not going to be in the gym every day. So what things can I alter as far as like my daily intake to kind of help me speed things up? And juicing was like one of the biggest things that I did. Like I was doing like intermittent fasting, which some people say is not healthy, but I was doing like 1 meal a day, but I was just doing juices for the time that I wake up all the way until that meal. And I started breeding results. After that point, I was addicted. And then, like, you know what I'm saying, just like I said, the lack of knowledge. So I got big on doing my research and seeing what does this, what does that, found out about inflammation and what that does to the body. That's where disease lives. So I just been kind of like on this kick ever since. But like I said, breeding the results and being able to help others and pass that knowledge on, I think that's the most rewarding part of it all. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it's all healthy habits. And this little thing, like you said, you ain't gotta change your whole life, but it will eventually change your whole lifestyle, because you're building that habit and that mental fortitude. Yeah. And it's like you just can compress it and go on, go. Yeah. So the name of your juice company?
So it's called Intune Nutrition, capital Ntune Nutrition. I named it Intune just because, you know, I'm a big music person, you know what I'm saying? Like, I probably use my radios and Bluetooth speakers more than I use my TV in my house, you know what I'm saying? So that was just something that I was like, yo, I gotta drive it with that. And then my business partner, like, when we got close because we was rapping together and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna name it Intune. But then also I think I felt like all of us, you know what I'm saying, we embody our own natural rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And it was all about getting back to that frequency, you know what I'm saying, getting back to that tune. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use my juices to get everybody back in tune, you know what I'm saying, with life's natural rhythm. So in tune,
I had a quick question. When do sea moss, when is it cultivated? Like what season do you actually go get it? And
it's just given to me. I don't get into the specifics of when they go. I'm not gonna lie.
oh, okay. I just wanted to know.
I don't get into that part of the business. I just
Get it.
I need my supply.
Okay.
Yeah, just make sure I'm good. We're good.
But I commend you though, because it's a process. Like I've had sea moss sent to me. Like I had somebody who I was getting it from, but then I had somebody actually send it to me in its raw form. So going through that whole preparation, I was like, yo, people do this like for a living, because like she said, like cleaning process is man, like I was washing it, and then I get to like my fourth wash, and I'm still seeing little bugs coming out of it and things like that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful who you buy your sea moss from as well, because you should not be getting little bugs.
Yeah, it was a little like, I mean, it wasn't like heavy on the bugs, but it was definitely, I seen one or two fly out of there, but it was just like you said, soaking it in the water. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to use that tap water because you still want to leave that sea moss.
Yeah, that'll alter the chemical compounds of the sea moss. Like, so it's like it's technique. It really comes down to technique. But no, I commend you on your journey, and it was funny because before we got started, we were talking about each other's journey, and you had a diabetes scare. I actually had diabetes. Like my A1C went up to 14.
Oh well. Pretty much the same thing. Mine was a 14, but I think when I got sick, when I was hospitalized, it was 11.6.
When I was my first time being hospitalized, because I was hospitalized more than once.
And could you, how old were you when you was going through that?
I got it when I was 23. I'm 31 now.
So it ain't no age limit, no time limit on being sick. We gotta begin to heal ourselves and be proactive on putting the right things in our body.
It was trial and error. It was trial and error for me because I didn't want to. I refused to believe that I couldn't get rid of diabetes. Like nobody could tell me that, especially since. So the crazy thing is actually.
And no, because they say type 1, you're kind of like genetically predisposed to, and then type 2 is like you acquire it or something like that.
So I actually had type 1.5.
Okay.
So my dad actually got diabetes in his adulthood. So he was an All-American. This was a sports player. Like that man lived, breathed sports. He didn't get his diabetes until he graduated from Brockport. And the funny thing is, my dad is from Brooklyn. Okay. And so what we inherited is called flatbush diabetes. Gotcha. And flatbush diabetes.
Was the sun in the water?
No, it was actually diabetes that started in a small Afro-Caribbean neighborhood. Okay. In like a community in Flatbush, Brooklyn. So, excuse me. So, it was generational. It was passed down. And it activated for the both of us in our adulthood. He unfortunately is still fighting his battle, but he is doing the things that I'm telling him to do, and he's getting better. Like it's a slow process because it's also a mind shift.
Absolutely.
Like it's like the thing about dieting or living a healthy life, not even dieting, living a healthier life is the mind shift. That's like first and foremost. If you don't have a mind shift, you don't learn control, if you don't learn discipline, nothing else is going to be effective. It's just going to be temporary results. Right. If you have results at all.
Because it's a commitment thing, and because it's so easy to go in the corner store and get a bag of chips.
It's more than that.
It's so convenient.
Because you can overeat on something healthy. Yeah. You can, like you really truly can. It's about understanding moderations for your body, understanding your water intake, how much water you're supposed to be drinking for yourself. Because the blanket statement of you're supposed to drink a gallon a day, no, you can make yourself sick doing that. Yeah. So each person, you're supposed to be drinking half of your body weight.
Now, could you
in ounces?
Could you maybe explain the difference? Like, because like I know like right now we like in a healthy age, so everybody's talking alkaline. Alkaline water, you want your pH a certain over 7, things of that nature. Do you know anything? Because you
yes, Yes, because these are all things I studied during my trying to get rid of my diabetes journey. So a lot of Dr. Sebi, a lot of understanding water, alkaline water,
Shout out to
spring
Dr.
water.
Sebi.
Shout out to Dr. Sebi.
That's where my health knowledge began.
Y'all kid, man. Y'all kid waking too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Young brother doing this thing
What else?
in Dr. Africa.
So the thing with alkaline water is it's great to get alkaline water with a pH with the at a 7. That's realistically where you want to be, a 7, 8. If you're going too high on the alkaline pH scale, that is too high.
Too acidic.
It's too acidic. Like you don't want to be up there. So and also you want to remember a lot of the water that they sell in the store. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry to buzz a bubble. A lot of the water that they sell in the store, they claim it's alkaline. I promise you, it's not alkaline. I promise you.
A lot of that water they sell is strict. There's no minerals in that water.
Yeah.
You're drinking.
You'll be fine with some Crystal Geysers. Sponsor us because we both need water for our businesses. Crystal Geyser. You can go get some Crystal Geyser from the dollar store. You're good. You're good. Spring water's fine.
Look at them ingredients on the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you'll see like a lot of sodium in some of these waters.
Yeah.
A lot of, it should just say
And
it's
sodium
spring
drives
water.
water, right? Salt
Yeah.
carries water.
Well, and you do want a certain amount of sodium in your
Yeah.
water.
To absorb it,
Yeah.
To absorb it,
You do want that in your water, but not in
Well, not to
excessive
that
amounts.
degree.
Since we on the alkaline, could you go into some alkaline fruits and vegetables? Because we always hear about this alkaline diet.
So kiwi is definitely like one of the best alkaline fruits. Like I don't experiment with all of them. I kind of like built my menu based off of the things that I pretty much had knowledge on. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm sorry to cut you off, right?
Yeah.
But how do you know to pair what fruits and vegetables with what? Is it like a certain thing? Like, so I see this one says King Flu with ginger and turmeric got anti-inflammatory properties, and you got vitamin C from the pineapple, the orange, and the lemon. So is that how you going about it, or you just
not? So I wouldn't say particularly to each juice, but I would say like. So with the Kung Flu, well, it's called Kung Flu, but the full name of it is Kung Flu Fighting. Like I said, my menu was all based off of like different music songs and stuff like that. So I got like Al Green, Kung Flu Fighting, Purple Rain,
Oh, that's dope.
Joyful, Blue Laces.
That's
Like I got a bunch of, they all like, related to music or whatever. But with Kung Flu Fighting specifically, as it got colder, the weather started changing. I was like, I need something that's like a super immune booster. You know what I'm saying? So with all of them with all of my juices being anti-inflammatories, I was like, this one I'm gonna put something in it to kind of put more vitamin C, to kind of like kick those diseases or whatever the sickness is. You know what I'm saying? Kind of attack those things. So I designed Kung Flu Fighting around that with the ginger, the turmeric, and then still have
and that'll warm you up too?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. I actually, you know what I'm saying? If y'all want, y'all can each grab a juice and y'all can crack it and we can try it live here. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one y'all want. Don't be scared. I promise you.
I would agree.
If you don't like it, I'll pay you.
No, you know what I mean? Because I want to try. I really want to try it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in
the middle. Let me see this one.
that one. That's everybody like. I'm gonna go towards that one because that's apple, kiwi, pear. It's just simple. Nothing super crazy in it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's because it's on the sweeter side, so it's more like introductory until you get into some of them bitters. Like I did a celery juice.
Oh yeah.
By the third day, I think I had to start putting apples in it because it was just a little too bitter. But it wasn't that bad.
It's so many benefits to celery. Then like even with like a lot of the fruits that I use, like that pineapple, you know what I'm saying? It's got that what is it called? Bromine or bromine? I forgot how to pronounce it, but that's in it to pretty much like curb some of those harsh chemicals within our body, flush them out.
That's what numbs your mouth from pineapples too, I think, because it.
Oh yeah,
the enzymes in it.
Like I said, mainly like a lot of them are anti-inflammatories. You know what I'm saying? Because we know like I said, inflammation is where the most disease lives at. You know what I'm saying? The mucus within your body. So I designed my whole menu to kind of embody that, where it's just like we attacking that inflammation because we don't want no disease to get comfortable in none of our temples. You know what I'm saying? I essentially look at our bodies as temples. So like I said, I just kind of like designed the whole menu around that, but with certain juices. Like I have one called Purple Rain. That's blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, apples, and ginger. You know what I'm saying? So still attacking some of those same things, but then I put those berries in there to be more of like some gut regulators. You know what I'm saying? So I take that one top of the morning because especially if I ate the day before, I'm getting my day going with that Purple Rain. them berries is down there doing what they supposed to do. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
gut health.
Exactly. So
Because you got they call them normal flora. There's bacteria that live in us around us, all that. So you gotta like yogurt, you know that stimulates good gut health.
Yeah.
Kombucha, kimchi, pickles. You know what I mean? You can't get to it some pickles because that's a lot. That's
I got a
live
pickle recipe
things.
in my ebook, y'all.
You got a pickle recipe?
I got a pickle recipe in my cookbook.
You got a cookbook?
I do. I just dropped it the other day.
What's the name of it?
Yeah, Glow and Grow. It's Glow and Grow. It's a weight loss ebook and cookbook.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we have over 20 plus recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts. I have weight loss guides, like things about like water intake. I have an interactive macro calculator, so you'll be able to calculate the exact macros you need in order to either gain or lose weight.
Is that like calories? I never heard of that.
So macros is your proteins, fats, and carbs you're supposed to take every day. It's a breakdown of how much of each you're supposed to get in grams, how much of each you're supposed to get each day.
Okay.
I just started learning about that like recently.
Yeah,
Like recently, right.
When you lock in your macros, you're gonna see your
Because
results.
somebody asked me like, "Yo, what is balance out my macros?" And I was like, "Macros." So I got home and it was like macros.
Yes, if you could start like adding your macros to your juices, so like exactly knowing how much apples, how much pineapple, cucumber, kale, and then figuring out the macros for each one, it'll help a lot of people that are are healthy journeys in fitness.
Yeah.
Because if you're serious about your weight loss journey, you need to know your macros. You got to know. You got to know how much water you need. You got to know how much sleep you need, and your macros.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just hard to digest, no pun intended, because it's a separate lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, chips is right there.
Yeah.
You know, a burger costs less than a salad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we kind of conditioned, and it's convenient.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of things we could be doing, like growing little vegetables and herbs. And you can grow them in your window. You ain't even gotta plant them outside.
Yeah.
You know, and because it's, they say you are what you eat.
Yes.
So it's like, do you want your body made up of, you know what I'm saying, chips and steak subs and you know what I'm saying, just or do you want your body full of life, electricity? Because that's our bodies are electric and magnetic, and that's one thing that the live foods do for us. You know what I'm saying? The plants and the vegetables, straight from the earth. You know what I'm saying? And you got everything you need within those, but we get tricked by society. Oh, you need this, you need that, and it's really killing us and making us sick. Like you said, we already genetically predisposed, and then we got the unhealthy habits. So it's like y'all no
food
food
deserts. Food deserts.
It's not available.
Yeah.
It's like, and some of the stuff they say organic is not organic. But you do got alternatives because people don't even go to the public market like that no more. Like, and they take food stamps. I think they give you $2 for every $1 you spend.
Yes, y'all go to the public market, especially got EBT. Please go. It's amazing. And like, to speak to your point, it's so crazy you said that because I was literally thinking about that on one of my walks the other day about, dang, it's so easy to go to the grocery store and get chips because I'm a chip lover. Yeah. Like, I love chips. But I got into making my own chips now because I'm like, sis, we cheating with the chips. Like, we gotta let the chips go. So I actually developed, and it's coming out. But I actually developed some recipes for like our favorite corner store chips that we would get. We go to Wilson, because the corner store was right across the street from school.
Walking to school with a whole bag of snacks.
Going through LAX, walking into school with a whole bag of snacks.
Oh, so you went to Wilson?
Yeah, we wildcats.
But you know what? Sugar.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, sugar is probably one of the most addicting
chemicals.
It is.
And it's in everything. It's chips.
Like, I'm literally like fiend sugar. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, yo, I need
something sugar.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How always like, yo, we need something sweet. We don't. You know, so eat a meal, you be like, I need something sweet now. We don't.
But what about when your body craves something salty and you really need salt?
You don't.
You know
it's literally
here.
It's here, and it's the
parasites.
bad stuff, exactly. Parasites in your body.
Parasites.
They said it's
or
parasites.
it's your body signaling to you that you may like
have
salty. You need water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you need electrolytes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like if you think about so I really developed my gut. So since I became I used to be a teacher, y'all used to be.
You still are. You just got a different classroom.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
That's a great way to think about it, though.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to think about it. And being a teacher, I taught environmental and agricultural biotechnology for middle school down south. And it allowed me to take what the little things I grew up with about gardening and take it to the next level, to really get down to the molecular science of plants and food and vegetables, and everything that's around us feeds into something else. So if you really get into gardening, it coexists.
That's nature.
If you really get into gardening, you'll be in the garden. You'll be like, wow, God really created, made sure everything is full circle. So, for example,
stop killing these bees, y'all.
Stop killing the bees.
Stop killing these bees, man.
So like my family has really bad allergies, right? In the springtime, early spring, do you guys see outside those like tallish ground? It's called a ground cover.
Yeah.
They're purple nettle. It's like purple little flowers.
Exactly what you're talking about.
So that is actually for your allergies.
Wow.
The reason we have such bad allergies is because there are more male trees planted than female trees.
Because they trying to make money.
So in areas that are heavy with allergies, you're going to see the dead purple nettle pop up early spring to help us with our allergies. So you make it into a tincture, you make it into a balm, you make purple nettle, you forage it and make it into a tea. So like everything around us has a purpose.
Dandelions.
Yeah.
Dandelions.
So I got the dandelion leaves, the bulbs, the flowers. Like you can make a tea out of them. You can make a salad out of them. You can cook them. And dandelion, the little yellow flowers we see everywhere. Growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like those are good for your stomach. Those are good for a lot of things. Like, and it's like everything has a like every plant, herb, anything on this planet has a purpose. It's just
that wasn't man-made.
Yeah. You gotta just find a use for it. And like the flower may be poisonous, but the leaves aren't. Or or you may have to boil it or do whatever you have to do to it. But it's something around to help and heal us for everything. It's like we gotta get back into nature. We gotta get back in tune. Like take walks, bury your feet. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think that's happening though.
Yeah.
I think that's
it's definitely
really
been a shift in the world.
It's very big shift, especially because we're overconsumed with social media and like we're tired of Hollywood.
Absolutely.
Like we're over the fake. We need to learn how to sustain on our own.
And I think food costs too much. So it's like we gotta start looking into alternatives.
And you know what's being put into your food.
That's another battle too. You got between all of these hormones, stress from the animals that they killing, all of them farm raised. If y'all do, you know what I mean, whatever meat you do consume, try to get fish. I try to get wild caught. I try to stay away from that farm raised. I try to get grazing, you know what I mean, grazing animals and stuff like that, or cage-free birds. Yeah, like grass fed.
Get your eggs from the public market.
Or farm, like
or farm,
we in New York, it's a lot of Stokio. Y'all want to go get the pumpkins and stuff like that? Go there, you know what I'm saying, in the right season and get some other stuff. You know what I mean? It's only 20 minutes away. We got a lot of farms here. Chickens, you can buy you a cow, you can get it butchered. It's a lot of things you can to ensure at least that way you know where your stuff came from, and you know it hasn't been in like a big facility and you know they're pumping it, because how many McDonald's is? And they selling all of them selling thousands of hamburgers every day. How many chickens you think being sold on a daily basis? It's not sustainable. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, we know things grow in season. And if they're not in season here, they're in season somewhere else, or something else is in season. So we gotta get back to a natural way of living, because our bodies is paying for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the world has kind of just been built on convenience, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I even going pescatarian, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shifted me a lot, because I was like, yo, you know, one of the biggest things I wanted to start cutting was fast food. But then, like, even with me going pescatarian, naturally I cut fast food because there's nothing available for me. You know what I'm saying? Even like late night eating, you know what I'm saying? Before, like, I spend out, I'm hungry. I get out, go Taco Bell or something real quick, 10 o'clock at night, eat. Now I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing available to me, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm doing my carb intake, I'm not gonna go get a bunch of French fries and just eat those, you know what I'm saying? But like, just those small adjustments changed my whole lifestyle. And that's when I realized, like, yo, but then like even in the daytime, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like if I wanna eat what I eat, I gotta go, if I even going to a restaurant and getting salmon, you at about $28, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
you get a whole fresh salmon for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't like chop them down.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But if I wanted chicken tenders, I can get 9 of those for $14. You know what I'm saying? And 2 sides.
Right. So you said chicken tenders, right? I'm glad you said that, right? what's one of the easiest ways, or how do y'all think we can start to get these babies to get out of all of that? You know, like all of these unhealthy eating habits. Because I feel like it starts. I feel like it starts young. Like if you're not introduced to some of this stuff, like while you're early, you know what I mean, like 1-2 years old,
even younger than that.
You gotta be, because by the time you get to your adolescence, your teens, you're not gonna want that, and then you'll have to go through a journey to what I mean, get back integrated into it. So I mean, I know the juices and you can hide a lot of the stuff in there, but how do y'all think will be a good approach in aspiring the youth to eat healthy?
You gotta start when they young.
Yeah,
like
I was saying not introducing them to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or like I was saying, like even before, where it's like growing up in certain households, like sugar was like a treat. You know what I'm saying? Like literally a treat.
Kool-Aid.
Hey, you could get one cookie today. You had a great week. Where like, in our households, like it was just there. You could go get cookies whenever you want them, chips whenever you want it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like getting back to that. You know what I'm saying? Where like incentive, like not to where you could just go binge eat on it. You know what I'm saying? But it was accessible. Like it wasn't just like portion control where somebody like, yo, listen, 2 cookies, half glass of milk. That's your treat for the week.
Yeah.
It was like, yo, I can have cookies today, 2 today. Tomorrow I can have 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was just like that.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, yo, we got to get back to just. I think I'm putting it on the parents, you know what I'm saying, like to just be more mindful and be more, you know what I'm saying, disciplined when it comes to what they feed their children. I think it's easy to be like, oh my God, I had a long day at work. I'm on my way home. Let me stop and get my baby some McDonald's. When I get home, I ain't got to cook. Nah.
It's hard. It's hard. It's like capitalism fed convenience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So like, when women enter, black women working since forever. Let's put that out there. But when it became legalized for women to enter the workforce while the men were still overseas fighting wars, they had to find a way to take their kids and make sure production was being done in outside the home. And then so that created, okay, well, I'm too tired, I can't do this and this, hence you get Betty Crocker, Duncan Hines, who else was Hamburger Helpers,
Stouffer's,
Stouffer's. You get those brands popped up. And so it really it's convenience. Capitalism fed convenience.
Absolutely.
What was that? What did you say? What am I piping off of? Because I want to make sure I'm full loop.
We were just talking about the convenience and the ease, like, you know what I'm saying, like, instead of parents being tired from work, going home,
it's hard. Like, sometimes you gotta take the Sundays and like, okay, from this time to this time, I'm gonna prep my baby fruit snacks.
Yeah, facts.
You can make those at home.
Facts.
You can make like the recipes I'm about to drop. Slim Jim. You can make your own jerky at home. You can make your own honey buns at home and make sure your child gets it within reason, not. Oh, you get one every day or every other day or 3 times a week. No, like let the sweet thing be fruit. Like let that be what excites you. Yeah. Not bread. Carbs.
And you wonder why they can't sit down.
No, literally.
Because they got all this sugar. It's in everything.
In their brain.
And it develops the ADHD.
In their brain.
The ADD.
But like you said, but it start with the parents, because kids gonna do what they see us do.
Absolutely.
So if they don't see us eating fruits and vegetables and that broccoli nasty or that's nasty or whatever the case may be, it's like, again, we're not supposed to be feeding our body for taste. We're supposed to be feeding our body for nutrients, because your body is a generator. You know what I'm saying? It's you need the proper fuel, and if your car run on 93, you can't go put 89 in it. You can't put lawnmower gas in it. You gotta put that fuel in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that's gonna keep us going and keep us here for a long time. And if we start implementing them, seeing us just growing little things in pots at the crib and seeing it grow and then eating it, I think like that's like one of the things that's become full circle. Like when you can produce your own food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you put in your own recipes, and so you're making the food fun for them because you got Slim Jims and chips and stuff. But it's healthy. It's healthy.
Like we can make some dehydrated sweet potatoes and kale at home, and put a little sea salt and maybe some other spices, but you can make it fun, and that gives you forces you to
cook. We're gonna have to have a cooking show too.
Next episode, she bringing the little stove. I got a little pilot. We got a little pilot in
it's also engaging. It makes you spend time with your kids. Like that's also a missing element is spending time with y'all kids. Because as a teacher, spend time with y'all kids.
I think families in general just need to spend time together. Sit down, cook a meal
We
together,
don't want
eat
no more
together.
iPad babies. No more iPad
But
babies.
see, okay, with that being said, right, I think we all agree that the veil is lifted, right?
Yeah.
Or it's lifted.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
gone.
yes,
It's gone,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The older
It
generation,
seems-
we still working with the older generation.
Huh?
I'm still working on them.
But
the older, yeah, they
we're
gonna be
the
hard,
ones
though.
that gotta break it
Yeah.
because
We the bridge.
Yeah.
middle child, yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So we look so unnatural being natural.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like when you're eating healthy,
Yeah.
say you don't eat pork, your family gonna look at you like you're crazy.
What?
What you mean? You grew up on that.
That was the first thing that I cut out before I even went pescatarian. I was 14 years in no pork, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, it was family members. I was like, what, boy? Grandma raised us on bacon. And I'm like, yo, unfortunately, I don't eat bacon no more, you know what I'm saying? But then even me going pescatarian, like, you know, going to my godfather's house, I remember it took him a while to kind of get on track with me because, like, his way of showing his love is making sure everybody's fed. You know what I'm saying? So it was times that I would go over and I'm like, yo, Pops, I don't eat chicken.
He took offense to
He's
that.
like, yo,
yeah.
bro, what you
Yeah.
mean? That ain't gonna hurt you with chicken. And I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So then when I finally had a conversation with him, it came down to he was like, well, you know, this how I get everybody over here is by cooking for y'all. So he felt like I wasn't gonna come see him no more or come check on him because I couldn't come eat. And I'm like, yo, nah, when I come over here, it's not to eat. But he like, yeah, I know, but Sunday dinners. And I told him, like, yo, as I was adjusting to my new lifestyle, I did take a break where I wasn't going over there on Sundays because I had to build.
You knew your trigger.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I was like, I know me. Like, somebody might bend that corner, I'd be like, let me get it flat. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me just stay away from it. But once I got that discipline under control, I was like, all right, now I can go back over. But it was just conversations that we had to keep having over and over again. So finally, like, he had his own health scares and he tapped in like, yo, what you got for me? So I'm like, let's get on track. And since then, I've helped him regulate his blood pressure. I've helped him regulate his blood sugar, you know what I'm saying? But it's still small things where I'm like, yo, Pops, you can come off that metformin, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't really need that. But he like, you know, like you said, the older generation where he's like, yo, it's not broke, so I ain't gonna fix it. But I'm like, yo, it is broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is broke. But I think it come down to just like knowing that other habits that you have in your life, you might not want to, you might not be ready to cross that bridge or curb the habits. So you're like, you know what? Like, this keeps me safe. But for me, I was like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is I need to do, I'm gonna do it.
Like you said, it's increments. So you don't have to go full. You know what I mean? You can start off with juices.
Yeah.
Teaspoon of sea moss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some
Absolutely.
good tea. It's a lot of things that you can do to condition yourself for that. You know what I mean?
In moderation. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, oh my God, I eat the healthiest every single day.
Yeah.
Like, no, I still indulge, you know what I'm saying? But like, I know, like I said, if I have a cookie today or I have something sweet today, I don't need to be having nothing sweet until I process and flush this out. I might not have nothing for another 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I have dairy today, okay, I just had some dairy on Tuesday, I ain't messing around with no dairy for a little while, you know what I'm saying? But like I said before, it was simple stuff. Like, all right, I'm gonna grab a milkshake today. Tomorrow I'm gonna have some milk and cookies. The day after that, I'm gonna have some chips where, like, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't really doing anything in moderation, and it was just making me worse, you know? So now I'm just kind of scared.
But you know, I think one of the hardest things is finding substitutes.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you find a substitute for that, like, if you might do almond milk instead of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a different. I can't find no good vegan cheese yet without all that.
Yeah,
Cause I try to keep it down to a couple of ingredients.
The yeast, the
To the oat milk.
nutritional yeast.
Okay.
Nutritional yeast. So like you're trying to make like macaroni cheese, is that?
Yeah, like it's saucy, but I mean, like for a sandwich or something, like I need that.
Oh,
You know what
I
I
can't
mean?
help you there. See, there's some things that I straight up just said I'm done with.
Because even with that, it's like
It's
even
like you
when
don't necessarily. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
you
finish your
find,
thought.
no, I was just saying, even with because I try to eat healthier, but like I don't eat that impossible meat, and
Yeah.
I don't do all that stuff. So it's like even with that, and that's become a new scam. That's become a new thing too, because they'll tell you it's organic or it's natural, but why the hell is
Why are we having some
Packed with
manipulated stuff?
sodium.
I can't even
Yeah.
because my thing is if
packed
I
with
can't
sodium.
pronounce it, I don't eat it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want it if I can't, you know what I mean? Or if I don't know the origins of it, then they have all these dyes and stuff in the food. So it's like, I think once you find those like mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, fire, you know what I'm saying? Fry them down. That's like a good chicken substitute.
Lion's mane.
Lion's mane is like a steak chicken,
Yep.
seared, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Eggplant
Yeah.
What's some other meat substitutions y'all think that's pretty good?
Jackfruit's
I haven't
great.
had jackfruit yet.
Jackfruit's fun.
I see them doing ribs, fish.
Yeah, jackfruit's a lot of fun. I think for me, like my rule of thumb for everybody, even like if you're trying to lose weight, anything, like if you or changing your lifestyle, my rule of thumb is eat the rainbow. It's so important to eat the rainbow because you're not gonna get the colors. They make a difference.
Absolutely.
Like people say, oh, make sure you have a lot of color in your food. It's because you're trying. They want you to make sure you're eating the rainbow because everything provides different nutrients for you.
Right. I know red is for the blood.
Absolutely. Should beet, should cayenne peppers, things like that.
Yellow.
Yeah.
We got I think that's for like your lymph system. Don't misquote me. Yeah. But basically all these colors correlate to the rainbow, to the chakra system, however, whatever level we on, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta, and nature designed it that way, and a lot, and it's so dope, right? Most of the fruits and vegetables are shaped like the organs that they help. You know what I'm saying? Like
kidney bean,
walnuts. You know what I'm saying? They good for your brain. It's like a lot. So it's like nature really gave us the handbook on it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So your greens.
Yeah. You want to switch up your green variety. Like you don't want to eat kale every day.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to switch it up. Like don't. And that's the great thing about cooking and like really getting it, experimenting with cooking because you get to learn different ingredients and have fun with a variety of spices
Thousands of
and
plants.
foods. Just have fun. Don't feel like it's baking. Baking is very exact. Cooking is more about technique than anything.
Absolutely.
Technique more than anything. But flavors you can experiment with.
Liquid smoke.
Oh,
that's a good. You know
that's
what I mean?
That's a staple of mine.
Yeah, you don't want to put turkey necks, turkey tails, or because the hog maws and all of that stuff. It's like we move into the turkey necks and turkey tail, but that liquid smoke.
That was one adjustment that I made because before I went pescatarian, I always make kale greens. You know what I'm saying? I always make kale greens. Put smoked turkey necks in it. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally went pescatarian, I was like, yo, I want kale greens. And I ain't even saying I really need the smoke flavor, but I wanted to be as close to what I was used to.
Make it comfortable.
So that was something that I was like, you know what? Let me try liquid smoke. And chef's kiss. I'm like, yo, like I got some in my cabinet right now. Like,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Liquid smoke, a little bit of coconut aminos. Yeah. Garlic, ginger, black pepper,
garlic mandatory. Mandatory.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we good to go. Good to go. Yeah. Coconut aminos, that's a staple in my kitchen.
Yeah. You cook with your sea moss, correct?
I do.
Oh, you got the cookbook.
I do. Yes. Well, the cookbook that's out right now, it does not include the sea moss recipes. The next volume will include sea moss recipes.
So what's some of the ways you use the sea moss in cooking? Because I know you were saying something like a salad dressing.
Oh yeah. So funny enough, my sister actually started on her sea moss journey not too long ago. And so she was so excited. She made a shrimp. She made a shrimp salad with a ginger turmeric pineapple sea moss. And she did her shrimp how she wanted to, included her sea moss in that, and then the rest remaining of it. I'll drop the video too. That's actually she sent me a video of it. And the rest of it she poured over her salad with a little bit of Caesar, mixed it up, boom. So. You can get your sea moss in a different way. So another thing I made for actually a church conference that I had a pop-up shop at not too long ago. Shout out to Miss Noreen. Shout out to you, First Lady. I actually made them curry chickpeas. What else did I make? Curry chickpeas and cilantro lime rice. Okay. All homemade. And the curry chickpeas has my sea moss in them. I use my ginger turmeric pineapple sea moss.
Let's get into that. Because how many different flavors? Because I think that's the one I got. The pineapple turmeric.
Ginger? Pineapple ginger, yeah. Have you tried it yet? Yeah. You liked it?
I've been using it since Thursday.
Okay, period.
I put it in my coffee like you suggested.
Like I told you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I be straight on the spoon.
Yeah, you can. But if you want, like, you can make tea. It's really good for tea.
Well, I started so before I even got introduced to like flavored sea moss, I was eating it raw.
And that's good too.
But it's an acquired taste, and like you said, it was getting me on that aspect of it has to be good. So that's where I started mastering that because I was like, yo, I know what this is doing for me. It's disgusting. It is. I ain't gonna sit there and be like, oh my god.
So you know.
But
in Caribbean life, we put it in Caribbean culture. We put it in everything. Okay. Like even like. your alcoholic drinks, like rum drinks.
Balance.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
called
Put
balance.
in there too. Like it's just a part of life. It literally is a part of a way of life in the Caribbean.
See, now that's so you Caribbean, right?
Mhm.
So
Part
y'all-
Caribbean.
part Caribbean.
Yeah.
But it's different for us blacks in the States because a lot of us didn't have access or knowledge to that unless we, you know what I mean, read a book or
Yeah.
went online, went on Google.
Mm-hmm.
But that being a staple in your household, you know what I mean? Like y'all grew up that
It's-
way in the bitters, like y'all drinking certain
It's
teas and stuff.
interesting because growing up, my Caribbean culture in my household only extended to mostly music and then like a lot of like the big staples you get like jerk chicken, but not like the integral Caribbean culture that you know a real person from the islands would have in her daily household.
Right.
I didn't really get into understanding that and really learning more about my culture until because my dad he was a Fresh Air Kid. So Fresh Air Kids is a program in the city in New York City for kids that you know are in it obviously they live in New York City but need to get some fresh air like want
Take
to
them to
be
camps and stuff.
like take them up into the Adirondacks. My dad would be in the Adirondacks and then so my grandmother ended up adopting him. So I didn't get to learn about my Caribbean heritage growing up. I didn't really get into it until after I want to say I was at WXXI. I used to work at WXXI, and we had I went through the whole genealogy book that I got. And you know the gentleman who has a show, the genealogy show, the black man on PBS. It's an older show, but it's a good show. And after that, that's when I learned like, okay, your people's from St. Kitts. Oh, okay, let me find out people. Start talking to them. I started learning more about my culture. And then cooking that way it just made sense.
It came natural.
It came naturally. I was like, oh yeah, duh, this makes sense. This is why you've been attuned to it for so long. Like you grew up with the music. You grew up because it's actually in your blood.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in your blood. It's in you.
It's in you.
And I feel like that's one of the things that I mean, not just you, but everybody needs to get into that. But particularly the blacks in the States, like our culture is built around this.
Yeah, well, we built our own culture. We had to build
yeah.
upon what we had.
Yeah, we did. We had, but now we in a different state of where we don't even have a vegan. We don't have no vegan spots here. We have a few.
I mean, I don't.
We have a few, but we don't really have no vegan spots here. We damn sure ain't got no vegan soul food spots here, or Caribbean, or
we used to have
Really?
What's that? Allah's Kitchen. Allah's Kitchen was pretty good. I ate there like twice, but even with that though, some of the stuff is still like the impossible beyond type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that was like the closest. When I first went pescatarian, I was like, let me try this vegan stuff. That was the closest that I got to like a full vegan establishment.
Got
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
well, I know like
Outside that, you got like Core Life. You know what I'm saying? Core Life Eatery, where you got more natural options. But
Got you.
as far as getting some vegan mac and cheese,
Nah,
you know what I mean?
So there's a market.
Yeah,
for somebody
I
to
tap in
open
for.
up
I
a
tap in.
yeah, they do because it's like because I went on a little vegan fast last month and it's like I did a lot of Ethiopian food, a lot of lentils, a lot of the curry little. So when you said the curry chickpeas, and on some samosas and stuff like that, and that's it,
they
really.
loved it.
I mean, you got that, and then you got some Indian food, you got Indian, some African, and you'll probably just have to like pick and choose little things here and there. But there's not one set spot where you can get all that. Not or be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, we can shout out to be healthy.
They shout out to be healthy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I don't think that's like a full on restaurant. I know like you get salads and stuff like that. But we need to get some mac and cheese.
Yeah,
we need to get some greens.
I ain't gonna lie, that vegan chili fire.
Some yams.
Oh, hold on, because if you haven't been to Aladdin's,
that's Mediterranean.
Oh yeah, but I love Mediterranean food.
Yeah, it's fire.
But if they have this bomb lent chili, it's made with lentils.
I haven't been to Aladdin.
Here.
I
you haven't been to. Gotta go get the salads. Gotta go get the lent chili, and then you also gotta get the mixed grill. So the mixed grill is like, oh, you don't eat meat.
Nah.
Okay, so just the salad and the lent chili.
I'm gonna try it. Everybody be talking to me about Aladdin's, but I haven't walked through the door.
The one on Monroe. I can't speak for any other one.
Copy.
I just think we need some more, and I'm glad y'all doing what y'all doing. Cause it's like, even if you are on this like health journey, it's hard to find some of these things or finding what things work out for you. Cause it's like you said, the world been built on convenience. So it's like, it's not like you can go down the street and, you know what I mean, pick up some cold pressure. Well, Wegmans be, you know, they be trying it now.
Yeah.
But it's like, we still going, that's still big
It's
business.
amazing, by the way.
You know what I mean? We only
You like it?
Yeah.
How you like it?
Fire.
Appreciate you.
Fire.
Appreciate you.
Definitely,
Sure.
definitely fire. I'm tasting the ginger, turmeric, all that.
And
Nice
I got
balance.
the Al Green, pineapple, apple, cucumber, kale. And actually, you know, my favorite detox drink is pineapple, cucumber, ginger, spring water. That's that's my go-to detox drink.
I'm telling you, do the job, man.
Yeah,
You know
get
what
it
I'm saying?
done.
Hydrate you first and foremost. But it's
Hydrate you and clear you out.
absolutely. That's what I'm about to say. Like, it's gonna hydrate you, but it's gonna clear you out. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
maybe y'all could run through some different juices or fasts that help with different things.
Go. Well, tell us what each of these do.
So, but this one, these ones, so especially with Al Green, like I said, is pretty much a hydrator. You know what I'm saying? The pineapple, the cucumber is composed of 90% water. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much going to be a hydrator, but also like that kale's going to go down there and regulate your gut. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to help you regulate everything that you've been eating, good and bad, and help you get like a nice balance of flesh. But then on top of that, it contributes to like hair, skin, and nails. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as like a beauty enhancer. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had clients who was like, I'm drinking this and my skin's cleared up tremendously.
That
You know what I'm
chlorophyll.
saying? Yep. So that's kind of what the basis of that one is. This one the same thing, anti-inflammatory. That pineapple's in there. That ginger, gut regulator, immune booster. You know what I'm saying? That lemon, vitamin C, vitamin nutrient rich. But also, like I said, it's good. I named it Kung Flu Fighting specifically because I designed it around the colder months of the year where, you know what I'm saying, you start getting that little itch. It's literally like, from experience, I've had that little itch where I'm like, oh, I'm about to get sick because I slept with the window open. I drink 2 12 ounces of that, and I'm back right where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? And then that one is apple, kiwi, pear. So that's joyful. That one was kind of just one of the more simpler ones because, like I said, a lot of people read those labels. They see all these different ingredients. They see ginger, they see turmeric, and they're like, oh my God, I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? So this one was, like I said, still anti-inflammatory, but more focused towards the gut health. Then we got that kiwi in there, which is an alkaline fruit. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna help you get your levels as far as your pH and things like that, right? But that one was more of just like the fun one. A lot of the kids love that
That's
one.
what I was gonna ask you.
You know
You
what I'm
want
saying?
which one would you think would be like a good introductory juice? Like if I didn't know, you know what I mean? I don't know about how none of these things taste. I'm just first day health journey.
I would say definitely Al Green. Definitely Al Green.
This is
and
pretty good too. It
probably
wasn't
like
too-
joyful.
Yeah.
I think people see that one and they get intimidated
It's
by
scared,
the ginger
yeah.
and the turmeric. They're like, oh my God, it's gonna be hot. And it's like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Because people automatically think like, oh my God, is this spicy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you.
I'm a little warm though. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, it wasn't like a. It wasn't like
It's
a
ginger.
doing what
cake.
it's supposed to do.
Yes,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
ginger.
Like, it's doing what it's
Ginger.
supposed to do. But I think mainly before anything, I prided myself on the quality, the taste. Because a lot of people see these juices, they like, oh my God, it's natural, it's gonna be nasty. And that's a bad stigma around natural things in general, you know what I'm saying? So people are like, oh my God, this juice is gonna be nasty. So even with all my juices, you know what I'm saying, like before they get bottled, like I got my little cup. And
Little sample.
you know what I'm saying? I'm tasting before they go out because I wanna make sure like that quality is there. But also just changing the narrative, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a lot of times people see that green juice and they're like, hell, oh, I don't want it. And my biggest slogan is like, yo, if you don't like it, I'll pay you for it. And I have yet to have to pay somebody for a juice, you know what I'm saying? And like, people be like, oh my God, I'm scared of it, but they usually come back and get that same one. Let me get 4 of those. Matter of fact, I don't want the 8 ounce. Let me get the 12 ounce. You know
So
what I'm saying?
how many different size variations do you got? Do you do like custom or like do you do custom orders or custom diets?
Yeah, so I do. So I have an 8 ounce, which is $7. I have a 12 ounce, which
This is the,
yeah, that's the 8 ounce right
the
there.
8.
Yep, that one's $7. I have a 12 ounce, which is $10, and then I have my 16 ounce, which is $14.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I do custom juices. So sometimes people will call me and they'll be like, "Yo, I seen this juice on TikTok because you know the TikTok videos get so good and stuff like that." So they're like, "Yo, I seen this. Can you make this for me?"
Yeah.
Typically, I'll upcharge them like maybe $1 on each bottle that they order, just to, you know, because I don't. A lot of this stuff I already have in my fridge because I'm making the same juices over and over. So I probably got 20 cucumbers in my fridge right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a bunch of pineapples sitting on my counter, but like somebody asked me the other week, like, "Hey, I seen this juice online and it was sweet potatoes. I've never juice the sweet potato.
Oh,
But I was like,
I've had a juice sweet potato.
I've never done it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But even with that, I had to like.
How was the consistency on that? Was it like smooth like a juice?
It was smooth like a juice.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Smooth
saying?
like a
It juiced just like a carrot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like it
that
juiced
makes
just
sense.
like a carrot. But that was my first time ever putting a sweet potato in my juicer, and I was just like, yo.
Because bananas don't.
Nah,
you can't
I've
juice
never
those.
touched it. But even like pears, sometimes pears get tricky
That is
because
a hard
if
one
they're too
to-
soft, it's gonna clog up your juicer or whatever like that. But for the most part, anything could be juiced. I've never tried a banana. Somebody asked me that recently. It's funny you said that. Somebody was like, yo, can you juice me your juice? And I want banana in it. And I'm like, bro, I ain't even gonna try that.
The kale,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
kale barely work for me, but maybe I gotta invest in a
So
different juice.
with the kale, for me, like I'll put my bunch in there. So right now the juicer that I'm using, so I go between both. So I have like a wide mouth juicer where I put everything in, but then I also have the ones that I actually have to press through. So for that one, for the wide mouth one, the kale works perfectly and do what it's supposed to do. But the other one that I have to feed it through, it does get a little jammed. So typically like I'll put the kale in, but then I'll put like a spare pineapple right behind it. So it's gonna just flush through at the same time and juice it out. It makes it go through smoother. But yeah, like I think to answer your question, like one of the more kid-friendly ones is probably like that apple, kiwi, pear, Al Green, and then surprisingly, I have one called Down with OCC. Like I said, all my stuff is called Down with OCC. Like I've been having fun with this. That's one thing that makes this fun. Like, because I'll be at the table like, yo, I got one coming up. I get the exclusive. It's called Barry J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, yeah, I just be getting more creative. But OCC is orange, carrot, and cantaloupe. And that's one that people see. They like, oh my God, it's this big, vibrant orange drink, and they get intrigued by it. But surprisingly, like I have had kids try it, and they're like, yo, we like that. And I'm like, really? Because everybody don't like carrots, everybody don't like cantaloupe. But you know, like, it's something about that orange that curbed the flavor, and everybody like, yo, like I've had people call me like, my kid loves this. You know what I'm saying? So once I feel like I got the kid population, like if you could get your toddler to drink these, I know I'm on to something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I get it a lot where people are like, yeah, my kids enjoy them. I didn't even get a chance to drink mine because my kids was drinking it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the biggest thing, like freshness, quality, and then that taste. Like that's the biggest thing that I pride myself on because I want people to be able to be like, you know what? Juicing ain't so bad. Like I'm gonna go to the store and I commend people like who go start themselves. I've had people who bought juice from me and they see me in 2 weeks and they're like, yo, I want to buy my own juicer. I'm doing my thing. Like I don't be like, oh my God, no. I'll be like, yes.
Yes.
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Because
You know
once
what I'm
you've
saying?
been through it, once you've been through it, you're like, that's exactly what I want
literally,
you to
like, you know
do.
what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'll give you my plug for
facts,
C-Mons
like,
if you need to. Here you go.
you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Like, it's not just about me trying to make money off people.
Right.
It's just pretty much like raising that awareness.
Positive impact.
What I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, is essentially saved my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I might be that first step to somebody's changing their lifestyle. Like, oh, yo, I got these juices from CODY and yo, they was hitting. So now I'm about to start getting on my healthy kick. I love hearing those stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've had people be like, yo, you customer ain't gonna come back now. And I'm like, so what? I had somebody the other day say, oh, yo, man, listen, you put your ingredients on your bottle. Like, why you do that? People know what you putting in it. And I'm like, for one, allergies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
allergies. I don't want nobody to grab a juice that's gonna make them sick or break out like that. But on top of that, go get your juicer. Make it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, it's not even about making money off of it. Like I said, it's about spreading that awareness and spreading the knowledge, man.
That's what I was like.
Food
that's
is
the biggest
medicine.
thing. Absolutely.
Food is medicine.
So what would you think is the again, same question. I'm just getting into health. What C-Mos is not gonna have me run away? Like what's the introduction?
It really just depends on the flavors that you like. So to be completely fair,
6-year-old.
a 6-year-old.
6-year-old kid. We trying to get the baby started.
Got you. So I'm actually developing a product now, C-Mos popsicles. For the summertime.
He got some juice.
I'm doing juice pop. I'm doing
He
juice
got some
popsicles
juice.
this summer too, so
Okay.
that's lit.
Okay. So I would do like honestly, you could really so that you don't have to have a specific flavor because I also sell it unflavored. I would do the unflavored, and what if because your kid could have allergies to certain things, right? So I would say just get the tablespoon of the unflavored, mix it in with whatever fruits and veggies that your child likes, make it into popsicles. Hey, here's your sweet treat, and then you're getting your daily dose for today. Or if your kid likes smoothies, you could throw it in a smoothie. Like my strawberry banana is really good for smoothies. Or my tropical punch. People love tropical punch because it's tropical flavor.
Yeah.
And it reminds people of tropical punch without it being unhealthy because all of my C-Mos has in it is C-Mos, spring water, locally harvested honey, and organic fruit.
Can you get into the honey? Cause it's like a lot. First of all, a lot of the you said yours locally harvested, but like when we go buying like even some of these oils, like we buy olive oil, it's only 5% olive oil, or the honey is only like 1% honey, and the rest is preservatives and all these. I don't really get the honey unless I see the little the little combs in them. But what, no, for real, and that's real like $40.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. They taxing on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That manuka, they put that.
Taxing.
Yeah.
Because honey's a
support a local, support small business, because being a beekeeper is not an easy.
Where you get your honey from? You got anybody you want to shout out?
Is it Wade's Honey? It might be Wade's Honey at the public market.
Okay.
They're at the public market though, and I really like them as a company. I liked who I spoke with. I enjoyed them as people. Now, do I want to go back and potentially do a partnership with them? Possibly, yes. That's definitely on the table. But that I always say support local. Always support local. Because the upkeep of bees and spreading bee information is hard work, and it's not easy work. And we live in I partially live in this climate. So in the months that I'm here, winter. We're not like this. New York isn't a full-time hot climate.
Right.
So you got to make sure you got to take care, make sure your bee's not dying. Well, after actually the lifespan of the bee, once it's done making the honey, is dead. So that's neither here nor there. But no, it's important to support local. My rule of thumb on honey is it doesn't have to have the honeycombs in it, because I'm gonna tell you something actually. Making everything, so if you use honey for a lot of things, using the one with the honeycomb in it isn't always going to be the best, because it's going to get a waxy film.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get a waxy
I eat
film.
that.
You eat it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's good. But everybody doesn't like how that looks.
Yeah, I eat
it's
the
not
comb.
aesthetically pleasing. And you can taste the waxiness too. If you put too much of the honeycomb into, like, say, tea or something like that. So I always read the labels. It's so important that you read your labels of everything. Of everything. I think that's probably my first rule for somebody on their journey. Yeah. Read your labels. Get in the habit of reading every single label. I pick up everything. I immediately turn it around and read my label. And where it's from.
Gotta
I be
Google
comparing,
now they have the apps where they tell you if something's bad or not. I don't even use that because I just know.
Fact.
Like,
I trust the same people who make that bad stuff.
It's a lot of fools that's in the U.S. They big in a lot of countries.
Oh,
That
yeah.
red line number 40, that yellow number 5.
Because the U.S. is a business.
That number blue, whatever that blue number is, that I don't. And
red dye. Yeah.
Those are Takis. The hot
Yeah,
Cheetos, feed the kids.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, those
Kool-Aid.
kids love them things.
Early in the morning. We talking.
But you know, that
7
was
in the
us.
morning.
Yeah.
That was us.
That was not me.
But
It was hot fries.
But
though.
it make you wonder. It make you wonder
You wasn't
why.
on hot fries?
I can't eat. I'm not a morning eater. Or
When you were young,
Yeah,
when you were in high school,
I was
when I was in high school.
you wasn't eating chips in the morning.
I wasn't never
Little
like
pack
that.
of donuts or something, little honey.
Yeah,
But we was
little-
able to leave school
Pack
and
of
go to the
Starburst
store
at
and stuff. So
7:30.
I went to East. So we had McDonald's,
Yeah.
Papa John's.
Oh yeah, see, we didn't have McDonald's.
Yeah,
we had
we
the
did.
corner
We had
store.
the corner store
We
across
had the
It was
corner
lit.
store across the
And that was
street.
it.
And but then we got the Caribbean spot where the new Caribbean spot is next to the
Across from
reggae CD store.
Oh, right on Sawyer.
Yes,
Yep,
yes,
sorry.
that was my spot because they always
Beef
had
patty with the
homemade
cocoa bread.
chicken patties.
Yeah, with
They
the
had
cocoa
homemade
bread.
chicken patties.
They was
Oh
like
my
one of the few
God.
restaurants that had cocoa bread. So
Yes.
we go in there and
Yes.
get cocoa bread.
And then my family pop style. That's my family over there.
Pop style,
Yeah.
kicking butt. You know what I'm
They
saying?
killing them.
Yeah, telling
Kirk
you.
and Michelle. Yeah, shout out to Kirk and
Yeah.
shout out to Michelle. Yeah, they're killing them over
Yeah,
there.
they definitely will.
Hold up, I had a quick question, right? What do bees make honey for? Like, what's the use of the honey that bees make?
Well, honey could be used for a wide variety. The whole thing could be used for a wide variety of things.
No, I'm
Bees
saying,
have
why
no-
do the bees make them? Why do
That's
bees
part of
make
their
honey?
life.
You know what? I ain't gonna say it.
That's God
What you
created.
think?
Because what they doing is they taking the pollen from one plant and then they carry it to another plant, and then I think there's some type of nutrients they acquire from pollen.
Yeah, because pollination creates better growth for your vegetables
Mm-hmm.
and your produce and your fruit trees and things of that nature. So they have to go to the flowers to pollinate all of the food and vegetables that you're trying to harvest.
Right.
So it's part of the harvesting process.
Mhm.
So like every person has a role. Literally, everybody has a role in the system of the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
That's just their role.
I just wanted to know, like, is that they milk? How, you know what I mean?
They milk like milk
animals,
money.
But I think they might feed it to their larvae because honey don't spoil, don't rot, don't nothing. Honey is like
that's something special right there. That's
Yeah.
God.
absolutely.
Literally though.
Really.
I mean that's you gotta think those bees is pollinating. They're making sure we eat.
Yeah.
Stop killing them bees, yo.
Yeah, for real.
You know
And
what I
we
mean?
have a really big carpenter bee nest at our house.
Yeah.
It's been there since like my parents have moved into that house. And they're huge. Like our carpenter bees are huge, but I have to fight with them. I have to fight my parents like, please don't
And they
kill
high
them.
vibration.
Don't kill them.
Bees is extremely high vibrational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we definitely appreciate y'all. What's your name again?
Cody,
And you representing?
Intune Nutrition.
Oh, hi, I'm MOIET, and I represent the Sea Moss and Sprouts and my Glow and Grow cookbook out now, weight loss guide and cookbook. Oh, come up to screen. Can we see? Wow. As you see, yeah, we got her homemade recipes. You see the macro calculator. We got homemade spice blend recipes, pickling like I told them.
Nah, that's dope.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything you need to get right. If you want to still eat good, feel good, I got you. Glow and Grow.
Dope.